Patch 14.12 may not be the largest patch, but has given rise to 2 new comps to add to the already diverse meta and has brought back some old favorites. This patch was very light on the nerfs and mainly focused on buffing underperforming comps, so you'll be happy to see more options to play. We'll be going over when to play them, what items and augments are best, and how to position them, all using stats from our site, MetaTFT, to back it up. For our new comps, we have Bruiser Reapers and Teemo and Lux Wardens. Bruiser Reapers is a new strongest comp on the block and is very easy to play. You simply play 4 Bruisers and 4 Reapers, taking advantage of the recent buffs to Galio, 4 Reapers, Yone, and Kayn. Yone is your main carry and wants to be rerolled on 8, as you need a lot of 4 costs in this comp, though you can still top 4 with the Kayn 2 and Yone 2. Yone's best items are Last Whisper, Bloodthirster, and Titans, but can do fine without these exact items as long as you provide the same function in other ways. For example, Hand of Justice or even a healing augment like Harm Assist can provide the healing function that Bloodthirster would, while an even Shroud can provide the same armor shred as Last Whisper. The best augments all relate to the same thing, getting in 4 Reaper as soon as possible. You can see all +1 Reaper augments as well as new Recruit perform exceedingly well in the comp. Grim Harvest is by far the best augment and a good indicator to play this comp. Besides augments, an early melee opener like Duelist or Reaper is a great angle towards this comp. Because this comp shares great augments and items with the Duelist and Heavenly comps, you can often pivot to them if contested. With the buff to 2 Trick Shot, a mediocre comp that lurked in the shadows has shot its way up into prominence. It revolves around playing Teemo and Lux to deal damage and snipe the backline. Your frontline will consist of 4 Wardens with an emphasis on hitting Amumu 3. This is a level 6 board you will be rolling on before hitting your 3 stars and pushing levels. You can hold Lux items on Zoe for more consistent damage until you find a Lux 3. Sometimes you can even 3-star her instead. If you are playing from behind, you will be rolling on 7 for a stronger board and a higher chance to hit Galio. Most often, you will be itemizing Amumu first, then Teemo, and Lux last for consistent damage. Amumu wants generic tank items such as Warmog, Stoneplate, and Bramble. You want at least 1 shred item like Spark or Shiv, and Morello/Red buff for Teemo and Lux for anti-heal. Teemo wants these 3 items, but often you can't be picky, and should be fine with any mana item and AP item you get. The best are Blue Buff, Shojin, Adaptive, Nashers, Rabadons, Gunblade, and Guardbreaker. That goes the same for Lux, but instead she wants a Shojin due to her mana cost and synergy with attack speed when Porcelain is active. Position Teemo and Lux so they target the same unit to quickly clear the backline. Lux will target the furthest unit, and Teemo will target the closest unit, so often you will position them on opposite ends. Having a lot of Teemos isn't necessarily a sign to play this comp. As you can see, this comp requires having both enough gold to hit your units and items to itemize them. Keep a lookout for item augments like Item Grab Bag, reroll augments like Prismatic Ticket, and even some strong combat augments like Lucky Ricochet when looking to play this comp. To watch this new comp in action, you can check out this NA Challenger player who has been playing a lot of this comp. You can check their match history and even watch him play some of his games. After 3 patches, Bard finally returns to his former glory with both 2 trickshot buffs and leveling changes. Although it is highly recommended to play Bard with either Wit's End or Forbidden Idol, it is still possible to top 4 without them. By far the most important thing will be having the right items for this comp. So look out for portals like Anvil Buffet or augments like Pandora's items and Component Buffet. You want at least 2 Rage Blades with the 3rd item being Wit's End or Gunblade, or even sometimes a 3rd Rage Blade on Bard. For Tahm Kench, he allows for a bit more freedom with his items, but will generally perform a lot better with Forbidden Idol, Dragon's Claw, Redemption, and Stoneplate. Roll for TK and Bard at 7. You can even go for Soraka and Zoe sometimes if you get lucky or happen to have some spare items. At 8, you want to cap out by playing a Rakan. Sometimes you can play Hui for 3 turns to get that last Tahm Kench or Bard. Position on the same side as the enemy carry to get into their backlines as soon as possible. Bard wants to be next to Sivir and attack speed Kayle to give him that attack speed boost, but can suffer from enemy carries like Morg or Lilia, so keep a lookout for them. Without the presence of Galio, Kai'Sa suffered heavily from the lack of frontline, and didn't have the time to cast enough times to win close fights. Yet another comp benefiting from the buff to 2 trickshot, Kai'Sa is back in action with more stable ways to play. You can either play her the usual 4 Bruiser and 4 trickshot way, 5 Ink Shadow, or even cap out with Dragon Lords and Azir. In most cases, Kai'Sa wants Last Whisper, Infinity Edge, and 1 other damage item. This can be Tattoo of Toxin, Sniper's Focus, Giant Slayer, Mana Muzane, Shojin, or any other AD item. Essentially, you want to focus on a pure damage build. You want to be aiming towards playing her when you know you can hit 9 that game, as Xayah is very important to this comp and increases your average placement by almost a full placement. You can check to see yourself by heading over to our Explorer, inputting the base components which make up the Kai'Sa comp, being 4 Trickshot and 4 Bruiser, and adding Xayah to the comp, and seeing what adding Xayah to the comp changes. The last returning comp is built different, and it plays pretty similar to how it was seen last. You want to be econing until stage 4 and rolling it down for all your 4 costs. Ashe is your main carry, and with recent nerfs to 4 snipers, you're going to be seeing a lot more in your shop. Auron is a really good unit in this comp, as he farms items for your other 4 costs, and he will always be lacking in items when playing this comp. You want your usual Ashe items as well as sources of anti-heal and armor shred. As stated before, items are the most important factor in this comp, and the stats for augments and portals reflect that. Radiant item, Anvil Buffet, Auron Forge, Blacksmith Gloves, and Item Grab Bag are all seen doing very well within this comp. For the latest TFT stats, check out MetaTFT.com or download the app to unlock even more data-powered features like shop analysis and positioning data. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube for the earliest information on new comps to help you climb.